So if you're getting the leaves from your own garden, you need to get only those ones that are tender. You should not get the odd leaves, because the odd leaves are, as I've said, these are hard already naturally. So if you get the odd leaves, it means that they are going to be hard and they will be difficult to cook. Sometimes they don't even cook at all. So only get the young leaves, which are soft and easy to cook. So what you need to do is you need to get them off the mother plant. This is how you remove them from the mother plant, or the small leaves from there, or the tender leaves. You get them off. Make sure to remove all the diseased ones if they are there. Like you can see this one is not good. It's got some sort of disease. I don't know what it is, maybe mosaic or something. So I'm not going to use that one in my cooking, but I'm going to use this one, which is quite neat and cool. So you do this until you have enough leaves for you to cook. So as I said, that the cassava leaves are quite hard. So for us to cook them effectively, we need to reduce their size by pounding them, either in a pestle and mortar like this, or if you have a blender, you can do that in a blender. So if you are using a blender, you first have to boil the cassava. You first have to cut the cassava leaves the way we do with the other veggies and boil them. And then after the boiling is when you're going to pulverize them in the mixer or in the blender. But here we are doing it the local way. We pound the cassava leaves like this in the pestle and mortar. And then also, while we are doing that, while the chigwada or the cassava leaves are being pounded, we'll have to put some water in a pot in advance so that the water should be heated. We don't want to wait too long. So I'm going to put about half a cup of water in a pot. And this water that I'm putting here, I want it to boil. We'll bring it to the boil. And I'm going to season it with salt. I'll season with a teaspoon of salt. And I'm going to cover the pot and wait for the water to boil. Once the water has boiled, then we're going to move into the next step. So now we have reached this point. This is what we are looking for. See? That's the right moment. However, we're going to continue pounding it. At this point, would like to add in tomatoes. So for me, I prefer that I put my tomatoes in the Chigwada or in the Mtapasha as I'm pounding. Then when I'm cooking, I'm also going to put some more tomatoes. This makes my Chigwada taste better than if I did not put tomatoes. So I'm going to put in tomatoes. Here are my tomatoes. So I'm going to put the tomatoes in like so. Yeah, and then we'll pound the tomatoes together with the chigwada at this point because we know that it is almost done. So once you put in the tomatoes, you have to be gentle in how you're doing you don't want to be too vigorous about it, because then you have splashes all over. Yeah. So yeah, until the tomato is also reduced in size. So what we want is add in some more tomatoes. The more the better, the more the yummy. So what we want is the tomato should be reduced, just like the way we do when we are frying the tomatoes. It should be completely reduced. We don't want to see parts of it. But I guess it's about preference. If you want your tomatoes to be chunky, then you're going to let them be chunky. Yeah. So we'll continue until the tomato is done, and I'm going to show you when the tomato is done. I think we are done. So we'll just check it. Let's check it. Yeah. So that's it. We'll take it off the mortar, put it in a clean plate, like so. This is how it looks. It looks like it's already cooked, and I'm already happy with it. So let's take it to the pot and cook this chigwada, this Mtapasha, these cassava leaves, and see. Okay, so we said that for this dish to come together, we need the cassava, which has been the cassava leaves, which have been pounded, chigwada tisinje, and then we have soda, and we need groundnut powder and salt. But I pre-seasoned my water previously, so I'm only going to adjust if the salt is not enough. So let's move to. So I've put in the chigwada, and now it will let it boil. As you can see, soda makes things form when you put it in the water. As you can see here, this is a good sign. However, we want the whole place, the whole of the top to be covered with the foam. That's when we can turn it. So I'm going to cover the pot. And once I've covered the pot, I'll let it boil. But you have to be watching the pot, because this foam can flood the whole pot and just spill all over. So we don't want any spillages. So keep an eye on it. So here we are. This is what I was talking about. The soda causes, it sort of foams. So you need to be checking on the thing frequently. We don't want it to flood all over and create a mess. Yeah, so I'm going to cover again, because I want the foam to fill the whole pot on top. This side here has not been reached yet. So only when it reaches there is when I'm going to turn it, so that the top goes to the bottom and the bottom comes up at top. We have reached the point that I wanted. As you can see, the foam is all over. And now I'm just going to turn the whole thing. I turned it, and I'll let it boil again. So one day I went, in Malawi, we normally eat the chigwada that has groundnuts in it. However, in rare moments where you don't have groundnuts, especially maybe in the lean season, we eat the chigwada that just looks like this. You just put in tomatoes, and you put in the tomatoes, and it's done. But we don't really like to eat it like that. But one day I went to visit some relations who stay in Zambia. So where I come from, we are close to Zambia. And there we found Chigwada chokazinga. And we had never seen this in our life. So this was like a culture shock to us. How do you fry Chigwada, But hey, you need to move around. People say traveling is learning, and it's true. we really learned that you can actually fry chigwada. So I guess when it reaches this point, when you're frying it, when it reaches this point, then you fry some tomatoes and you take the chigwada into that one. I've not tried that. I'm yet to try it to see how. But it tasted okay that day when we went. Okay. So this is how far we've come. I'm just going to cover it again, because when I tasted it, it tasted like it still has some more time to do a bit of cooking. So it's already smelling good. So this is where I wanted to reach at. There are two ways. When we reach this point, I'm going to put in my groundnuts, my groundnut powder. There are two ways of doing this. I put a lot of water here. You can put some water in the powder, in the groundnut flour, and form a paste and put it in here, or you can put the groundnuts like this. So I'm going to put it like this because there's still a bit of water in here. So by the time that the groundnut powder cooks, the water would have at least reduced. I don't want it to be too runny. Yeah, so this is how I'm going to do it. And then I'm also going to put in some tomatoes. These second tomatoes are totally optional. You can do without, because remember when we were pounding the leaves, we had pounded together with tomatoes also. So this one is actually not really necessary, but I prefer having a lot of tomatoes in my veggies. So that's why I've put them here. So we'll cover the pot again, and we'll let this cook until the groundnut powder cooks. Then we are going to stir it. Yeah, keep an eye on it, because once you put the groundnut powder, sometimes you can find that it is burning at the bottom. We don't want that. So here we have reached this point. It's been boiling. Maybe after I put the groundnut powder, maybe now it's been 5 minutes, and now I'm going to do the stirring. Make sure that you incorporate the groundnut powder very well, because if you don't, because of the method that we use, you have lumps of the powder, of the groundnut flour, lumps of that in the chigwada, which we don't want, because when you bite into it, it can be unpleasant. Now, so it's looking good so far, and the aroma coming from that is amazing. I'm just going to taste it to check if the seasoning is all right and if I need to adjust it. I think I need to add a bit more salt. So I'll adjust the seasoning. So there is no single measure for the seasoning, because it will depend on how much cassava leaves you have. Yeah, so I can't recommend that you should put 1 teaspoon. No, because it will depend on the quantity of the chigwada that you're dealing with. Yeah, so this is how it looks, and it looks good. I'm ready to eat sima with this. The groundnut flour is cooked, and the leaves are also cooked. There we go. Yeah, there we go. Now, if you have put too soda that's too little, your leaves will not cook. And if you put soda that's too much, the leaves will cook, but the whole thing is going to be bitter. And how you can know that is sometimes it looks too yellowish. Yeah, like the sauce of it is going to look too yellowish. Then you know that you have overdone the soda. But mine is just at the right point. Yeah, So if supposing if my chigwada was not cooked because I'd put too little soda, then you can always adjust the soda by adding some more soda in the chigwada. Yeah. So if you like these videos, like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to be notified of a new video every time that I post a new video. From me, from Lizzie Saka in Malawi, I'll see you on the next video. Bye. So now, I'm just going to dish the chigwada up. Into my batch. Okay. I'm just going to dish my chigwada up. Ready for my lunch. Yeah. It's too much. There we are. I'm just going to cover that up with my cream wrap like so. Ready for the table. Oh, that's quite hot. There we go. And there we are. That's my chigwada ready for the table. And being Monday, it's beans day, so cover those beans also like so. And we are done. If you like these videos, like, share, subscribe, hit the bell so that you are notified every time there's a new video. Bye.